The reason why every single one of your customers shows up to your webinars, read your books, the reason why they follow you is because they're wanting this one thing. And if you understand what this one thing is and you spend the rest of your life mastering this one thing, the more money you're going to make and the more lives you're going to help, the more problems you're going to solve. I'm sure you're ready to hear what it is. Let's go. I've lost hundreds of sales in my life through competition incentives, lack of urgent, committed buyers, getting ghosted. I need to think about it. I'm sure all of these sound familiar. Uncertainty in the economy. I've done all that until I had enough. And so I've paid over $1 million in personal development. My wife and I, in the last 20 years, we are both master practitioners in NLP. I know a lot of people say that they are. We have over 2,000 hours certification from the same level as Tony Robbins, from the same governing body. A lot of people have NLP, but they took a course on Udemy for $39 and that's not NLP. So we had a lot of work. We had to get a lot of certifications to prove it on this. NLP is the study and the science of how successful people think, speak, and act. Neuro is our brain, linguistics is our speech. And as we know, the way we talk to ourselves and others can program our neuro, our brain, and can program other people's neuro, right? Like that's what neuro-linguistic programming is. It's just nothing more than studying the cheat codes of life. So it's like, hey, Tom Brady's saying, do anything about this, let's do that. Russell Brunson, he says this, he does this, he thinks about this, let's just do that. The most successful people are doing these, let's model them. I'm also certified in accelerated evolution, which is basically the science and psychology of removing fear in high producers. So I have the same certifications as any sports psychologist that's out there. The reason why is because I believe salespeople are athletes and they should be coached like athletes more than anything else. And so I decided to study what the sports psychologist movement does and then apply that to salespeople. Certified hypnotherapy. And of course, I'm now in the inner circle with Russell Brunson this past year and re-upped for next year as well. I did all of that so you don't have to, which is cool. So I'm here because I want to help you see something by the end of the session, and that's this. External factors make it more challenging, but you matter more. You've got to believe that, right? There are two mindsets out there. There's an external mindset and an internal mindset. Okay, so check this out. If I go, what's stopping you from having a 100% conversion rate? And you're like, well, I need better leads. I need more urgent buyers. I need the better economy. I need my competition to stop discounting. I need people to show up to my offers. I need people to stay the entire time. That's all external. But if I ask you the same question, let me tell you an internal response. An internal response is, I just have to show people how to feel safe to buy in this economy. I just need the thoughts, words, and actions to convince people to spend more. I just need to find the right strategies to make my show-up rate double. I just need to find the right strategies to have my attendance be the same in the beginning as the end. External factors make it more challenging, but you matter more. And so going forward, I need you to watch when you ever ask yourself, why am I not doubling my income? Why am I not doing more? Ask yourself, like immediately write it down, okay? And if the answer is something outside of you, that's external. If the answer starts external, like, man, it's just a tough economy, but I know someone's got the skills and I got to figure it out. There's something I can say, do, and think differently about, and I'm going to figure it out. The most successful people are very internal. They're not external, and we got to do that, okay? I also want to convince you that you're one skill away. You're always one skill away from a better marriage, better marketing, better presentation skills, better anything, right? You're always one skill away from anything, and just remind yourself of that. You can 100% sell the just looking buyers, right? The ones that they're just like, I'm just checking it out. I just want some information. I'm going to show you how to basically convert those people. And I also want you to know that your frameworks decide your future. So right now, write this down. Who you are today is not who you are, it's who you've been. If I spent time and I just watch people, you watch people, you watch what we've been doing the last 30 days, who we've been talking about, where we spend our time, our habits, what are we thinking about, saying, doing, all that kind of stuff, right? The last 30 days, that framework of the last 30 days shaped today, right? That's who you are today. It's not who you are, it's who you were. So if you're all of a sudden, you're like, I don't like who I am today. I want to 10x my income. I want to 10x my life. I want to 10x my marriage. I want to 10x my health, my wealth, my prosperity, whatever it is, right? Then decide that's what you want 30 days from now and then say, okay, what do I need to do today? What's my new framework that I need to have that's going to create a new future for me? Frameworks always decide your future. And again, I know these are all things that you know, but just remind yourself of this. Sometimes in life, we got to be reminded more than taught, which I get. I wasn't born believing this, so I had to figure it out. I'm #1 sales trainer in the world by Global Gurus. This is based on results. Warrior Selling is also ranked #1 in our sales management program. Leadership and Sales Coaching is also ranked #1 in sales management, even though it's 4 on the list on sales training. Google also currently ranks me #1 as well. But most importantly, I'm one of you. I face the same ghosting, same objections until I discover a new way. If you're a strong-willed person, there's 4 outcomes for a strong-willed, okay? #1 is that you're going to be a great salesperson. #2, you're going to be a great leader. Number 3, you're going to be an entrepreneur, a founder, a prime mover. Okay. Or number 4, you'll be a drug dealer. Okay. Those are the four paths for a strong-willed child. Number 1, we're going to show them how to be a great salesperson. Number 2, a great leader. Number 3, an entrepreneur. Or number 4, if we fail in the first 3, they're going to be a drug dealer, right? So those are really the 4 paths because we are the renegades, right? We're the misfits. We're the round pegs in the square hole, right? That's who we are. We're the crazy ones. That's how God made us, which is awesome. Okay. My favorite reading when I was a kid was Thrasher magazine. I was not a reader. I was not into the stuff that I am today back then. I was born in the 80s, and this is who I was. I fortunately had a patient father. He was very helpful. If you're strong-willed, you better have a patient father or a patient mother because he kept kind of moving me. I would go right, he would push me left, vice versa. But he never resisted, right? Because we all know if you have a parent that just kind of pushes back with a strong-willed child, whatever resists persists, right? We know that line. Whatever resists persists, and so that's the worst thing you can do for a strong-willed is constantly push back, and all they do is push harder, and then they win eventually, right? So he didn't do that. He guided me along the way. He introduced me to a lot of things like Silva Mind Control. This is like one of the OG books of understanding brainwave therapy. Phenomenal book. He also introduced me to this person, Zig Ziglar. You can have everything in life that you want if you just help enough other people get what they want. That was a big famous quote that he said. But one of the things that we know, it's hard to do that. Why is it so hard to do? Well, it's hard because the customer is not open. The customer is afraid of us. The customer is scared of us. The customer is worried about what we're going to do. They think we're going to manipulate them or let them down. Like they have some fears in them, and so it's tough. At the same time, we have our own fears of rejection, fears of worry. Right? That's the psychology in both of us. And so my dad introduced me to him. He was my Sunday school teacher growing up. How cool is that? As a strong-willed child, I got to go hear him every Sunday teach some amazing things, and he obviously just changed my life, and I wanted to be like him. One of the things that I learned from him is I said, hey, I want to go to college and I want to get in sales. I said, what degree should I get? And Zig said, you should get a degree in psychology. And so I was like, oh, that's interesting. Tell me more, right? Because I thought it would be like advertising or something else. And I want you guys to write this down. He said, the reason why you want psychology is because selling is about feelings. The reason why people buy something is because it gives them the feeling, it gives them the emotion that they're desiring. They're currently in an emotion of fear and uncertainty and panic and worry about their current life path. Whatever you're selling, they're currently in a place of uncertainty, a place of worry, a place of anxiety, and they need to get to an opposite emotion. They want to get to an emotion of freedom, of joy, of happiness. What you have to figure out is how are they currently feeling? That's what psychology is. We have to understand how are they currently feeling about their current life path and what you're offering them. And then you have to find out the desired feeling that they want. And then you have to anchor, I'm using my own words now, then you have to anchor your product or service to the new feeling that they desire. And the better you are at mastering how are they currently feeling about what you're offering, and you find out the desired outcome of the feeling they want, the better you are at anchoring or communicating and solving and matching up your product or service to the desired outcome, desired feeling, then that's it. I'm like, okay, that's so cool. I was 18 years old when I first heard that. Right? So now I'm in psychology class and I'm learning a lot of cool things. And I learned this one thing from a professor that changed my life, and it'll change yours, I promise you immediately. He told me this one thing, and that's the number one desire driving every human being, including your buyers, is this: freedom. The word is freedom, right? This country was founded on freedom. The reason why we do anything is because of freedom, right? The reason why you flew to Boise is because you want freedom. You want freedom from your current challenges you have in your business. You want freedom from people not purchasing your webinars, not buying your stuff. Like, you want freedom from that, right? We pay extra for DoorDash or freedom. Toll tags, freedom. First class, freedom. These are all things we do because people pay more for freedom. And that's what we're selling. We're not selling what we think we are selling. We are selling freedom. It's just our product or service is a vehicle for freedom, right? So the Army selling freedom, okay? Heston's Mattresses selling freedom. Margaritaville, the Villages of Florida, they're all selling freedom, okay? They're all selling freedom. And so the more you understand that you're not selling what you think you're selling, you're actually selling freedom, then the more you will start selling what you're selling. Okay. So what does freedom mean to people? If you think about it, we all have a different thing for sales freedom. If you think about like sales freedom, it's like, I want to guarantee my income. I want to make sure that no matter what happens to the economy, I'm going to have certainty in that, right? I'm going to feel not salesy. I want to feel respectable when I sell. I want to feel honorable, right? Those are all kind of answers I normally get when it comes to sales freedom. So I decided to write a book. I decided to solve the problem, Forrest equals freedom. And you can see Russell Brunson, he did write the foreword for it. it, like an 8-page foreword of the book. It was absolutely incredible. And he says, Jason isn't just teaching sales tactics, he's leading a revolution in how selling is done. And he wrote, again, that's one sentence of the 8 pages he wrote in the foreword. So my publisher was like, this is like an 8-page foreword. I'm like, I know, it's Russell Brunson, just put it in there. Copy and paste, put it in there, right? We're not going to edit his foreword. So here's a quick origin story of how I came up with it. And that's when I was selling houses, I was selling real estate back when I was like 24 years old. And I was helping a woman go through a divorce. So she was coming in and she was currently in transition, right? So she was like going through a divorce and she was trying to get to like the promise. She was trying to like decide like in her next house, like, what is she gonna buy, right? She had a lot of stuff going on with her uncertainty of her life. And what I helped her realize was she didn't want a house, she wanted a new identity container. So she wasn't looking for more square footage, she was looking for a new identity container. Her identity was a divorcee, and she wanted to have a new identity of freedom, or a new identity of her maiden name, or a new identity of fun chapter. And so I just kind of said to her, I just said, hey, something that I know about life is that our whole life is one big book, and we have all kinds of chapters of our life. You're currently going through a divorce chapter. I get that. What do you want your next chapter to be called? Like when this chapter is closed and the divorce is finalized, you want your next chapter to be called like your freedom chapter, your fun chapter, your me chapter, your maiden name chapter. And she's like, oh, I like my maiden name. I said, great. So what's your maiden name? McCall. Perfect. So let's go find the McCall house. And I don't know if we have the McCall house here for you, but let's go see if we can find it. Let's go see. So then I kept asking her over and over again, is this the McCall bedroom? Is this the McCall living room? Let's talk about the things you're going to do in your future self when the divorce is finalized and you now are in the McCall life. You're in the McCall chapter. Like, what are you going to do in the McCall backyard? What are you going to do in the McCall community? What are you going to do? Right? And so I kept talking about her future and I didn't talk about the features. And all of a sudden she started realizing that she wasn't looking for a square footage, she was looking for an identity container. So that's really the beginning of this whole movement here. She was buying freedom, she wasn't buying square footage, she was buying her future self. And so the biggest thing you've got to understand is that when you are selling to someone, stop selling the transaction, start selling the transformation. Don't sell the thing that you think you are selling, sell what the thing is going to do for their future self. But you've got to figure out what is their future self and who are they trying to become in order to, again, attach or anchor your product to that. So again, sales is not about manipulation, it's about liberation. And the more you understand that they want what you want, they want that thing, there's just some fear along the way, right? So from a neuroscience perspective, you almost want to look at it like this. You want to think of it as there's a kind of the matrix mind, there's like the mind, the resistant mind, and then there's the buyer's mind. Think of the resistant mind like the amygdala. The amygdala is like, I don't want to do this, I'm afraid, I'm worried. What if I look stupid? What if people make fun of me? What if I overspend? I get screwed. That's that amygdala talking. That's that resistant mind. Then you have the prefrontal cortex, which is the future self mind. That's this desired mind, this subconscious mind that's like, I want to buy, I want to be free, I want to do great things, I got a limited life, I want to live it, I want my legacy, I want to be a legend. Like that's that stuff. So just know that if they're talking to you on the phone, check this out. If they're talking to you on the phone, their buyer's mind is actually very prevalent. Their buyer's mind is very forthright. Their buyer's mind is there, but they also have this resistant amygdala mind that's actually holding them back. What you have to do is you just have to give permission to the buyer's mind to say yes, because they already want to buy, and you have to do everything in your power to remove the resistance in the amygdala and the matrix mind. The matrix mind is just a follower mind. There's a great quote, I'm not sure who came by, that says, all human beings wake up every day with a little umbilical cord out and we're just looking for someone to tell us what to do, right? Like that's the matrix. And so just know they need you to be Morpheus from the movie Matrix. They are Neo, and you just got to give them the red pill versus the blue pill, and you just got to give them confidence to say, you can do this. It's going to be, we got it, we got you, we're good to go. Okay. So in the end, this is actually the answer. So like what's on my t-shirt is the answer. If you win the sales experience, you win the sale. That is the secret more than anything else. It's not about the discount, it's about the destiny. It's not about the feature, it's about the future. It's not about the transaction, about the transformation. It's not about pressure, it's about purpose. And just shift the whole thing, everything will change for you. But again, it's not your fault, right? You've been taught that selling is Bernie Madoff. You've been taught that selling is the devil. You've been taught that, heck, we don't even call it selling anymore, do we? That's how much we have cognitive dissonance about selling. We don't even call it selling. We call it enrolling, facilitating. We call it informing. Like, I'm not a salesperson. It's crazy, right? So like, no wonder we have so much cognitive dissonance in us, and no wonder we can't be our best self. I'm here to liberate people as much as I possibly can on this short time of earth that I have, is to be able to do that. Selling is very noble. That is what I personally believe. That's it. Thank you guys. Let's connect on Facebook and on LinkedIn, all that kind of great stuff. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you.